Alright, so I guess the first episode of Kamisama Dolls. Um, and the first note, the opening sequence of the anime was very striking. We have, it's not quite clear where you see it, so like two children. Of course, the little boy who's running away from a huge, horrible mecha type monster. And then, but it's not clear exactly what happens. But the mecha type the uh, the mecha, like, obliterates whatever place they are on some kind of mountain range with trees, and it's a very striking and very haunting opening because it's like he doesn't feel for kids running for their lives, so that sort of thing. Um, but that was interesting. And then the opening song was like, I like the opening song because the graphics of the opening song was very nicely done. It's sort of, I guess it's sort of to remind, it gives you the feeling that, okay, yes, I'm going to be watching a sort of a more adult um, anime, not something that is meant, not something that will be pandering to kids too much. But the singer is, it's not some silly J-pop. It was a mature voice, so that was nice too. I would keep that. So what's the story of this anime here? The anime goes with Koga Kyohei as the protagonist, and it opens with him in some kind of like college, like in a college party in a bar, and then there's a love interest. I guess her name is Shiba Hibino-san. The one thing I would note about Hibino-san is that her boobs are like, ugh. They're like, I know, Japanese men have a thing for boobs and still, but they could like put it to proportion. I mean, it's I have to say it's distracting. It's distracting not because it's like, oh, boobs, right there. It's distracting that it's sort of like a, what's the word to put it? It's unreal. It's a little bit. It's a little bit grotesque how if they fit this huge boob thing on like on a thin frame, and of course it's all like girly and like all flirty. It's like, okay, it gets a little bit on my nerves. So I'm kind of feeling a bit this whole like the fan service thing. Like, okay, can we get on with what's happening? But in the end, as at this I guess in the bar thing, in the bar, it ends with there's a horrible murder in the bar, and Kyohei gets to walk Hibino home as a show is masculine. It's like shows like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take care of the girl, and he of course feels a little bit terrified, but he is a lot less terrified than the girl, so he gets his masculine chops, which is, I'll forgive it, whatever. I'm still here. I'm still here wondering why I should be watching this anime. And then as he goes, and then after he drops off Hibino at the train station, he goes on off his own way to go home, and then he runs into his sister, who comes from this village. So apparently they come from some strange, crazy village, and he goes off to Tokyo and says toodaloo, bye bye to his family, because he doesn't want to be there. So yeah, to all you young people out there suffering under bad parents, choose a college very far away. That's a very good strategy. So he does. But then they come back to him. The sister comes back to him, and she comes with a huge doll thing. They call it the kamisama, and I guess her name is Kukuri. The name is Kukuri. The doll thing it looks cute. It reminds me of Marvin in I can't remember the movie. I can't remember the name of the sci-fi movie now. I don't know. All I remember about the sci-fi movie is that it goes with the thing that what's the meaning of life, and the answer is 42. That movie, and then there is like the depressive robot, how it's all white and like has like a rounded profile. That's what the kamisama looks like, and it's sort of cute. But then, of course, the little girl is also cute too. All the girls are cute. It's just except the one drunken girl in the bar. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, we'll let them. We'll give them their stereotypes. So, but then she tells him that there's some crazy guy Aki has escaped from the village, and this Aki is apparently responsible for the murder, and he's like, great, I run away from home now, and now these my crazy family people are like dragging me back. And then of course the Aki comes to crashes the welcome in their house with his own kamisama thing, and his own kamisama looks more masculine and all like sharp profiles, and it's not as cute as the kukuri. And then there's like this whole confrontation. It's sort of it's clear that there's some kind of conflict there, and like they don't like each other. Aki and Kuga don't like each other, but it's not quite clear exactly why they don't like each other. So when you see these two people fighting, it's sort of, you're like, whatever. And of course you put the sister in, who is trying to protect the little brother, but then oh my god, the little brother can't why is the girls fighting for him? And of course he has to they are both trying to trying to one up each other, and making sure that no one has one becomes more protective of the other. And of course, and then it all fails when the girl gets thrown out the window. That's really funny. Aki throws the girl out the window, and of course that's like coconut strings. But hey, it's more like, come on, guys. And of course the Kuga tries to Kuga, of course, doesn't have his own kamisama, so he can't really fight. But the girl comes back. So it throws out the window, and this is like a huge high rise, right? The girl comes back in the high rise and blasts the Aki and with her own kamisama. And that's and somehow Aki was captured by people from the village. It's sort of like. You can't. It's like the mafia, the mafia. You can't run away from the mafia. They will always be around. So the people from the village, tell Kuga to So they arrange lodgings with surprise Hibino's family, and Hibino's father is apparently from this crazy village. So she's like, and so he's like Hibino. So the father has to explain to the daughter exactly their secret past. And to this that this village has, keeps things like kamisamas. So she learns, Hibino learns it, but then Kuga gets to stay in the girl's house. So it's sort of like, ooh, so there'll be some hanky-panky going on, and there'll be some, trouble later on. It ends on a low note where the girl and the Kuga and Hibino, shake each other welcome to our world sort of thing. What do I say about the anime? It has a good closing song. That's a good one. It reminds me of the woman who did can't remember this. I can't remember the app. I watched too many anime. It's the good woman. She's a female singer. She did Noir. Yes, that's it. The singer, the singer who did Noir. That the anime Noir, that's it's her voice. So it's sort of like that's really nice. That's really good. But the anime itself, of course, there will be conflict with Aki and Kuga, and then. But what's more interesting for me at the anime standpoint is the village. This whole village with this massive structure, who has tentacles, and it's going to drag Aki back into this into this crazy world that he took pains to avoid. So that's I guess the conflict that I prefer seeing. But the crazy Aki guy who is trying to test himself against Kuga, and doing all these crazy things like throwing girls out the window. I don't care, but that's too obvious. You kind of have to give me a more interesting antagonist. So, but there. And of course, then the girl boobs. I'm going to keep seeing Hibino, and and then every time I see Hibino, she'll be that, great. Well, as long as it gets people watching, I should be happy. But anyway, so as I watch, I'll watch one more episode. That's good. I'll see you next week.